Alrighty, what the heck is going on, guys? It's your guy, Hector or Coke, and today we're doing some new content. We're doing a podcast, and I'm here with my friend. I'll let him introduce himself.
Hello, my name is Angel. I'm co-worker with Hector.
Yes.
And I'm also a photographer. And yeah, we share a lot of the same interests. So this is our first podcast.
Yeah, thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yeah, what the camera doesn't know is, when he first came in, we had some pizza, just chopped it up a little bit. My dogs got used to him. And, just getting comfortable, getting with the vibes. And yeah, like Angel said, we met at our job. Our relationship started as coworkers. We both worked with animals. And yeah, what kind of pets do you have? Let's start there.
Okay. I have a dog. He's a Chihuahua. He's also like a mix. I don't know the mix he is.
Yeah.
So I just say we have a Chihuahua. And then we have a cat. Same thing. I don't know his breed, but I know he's like the ones with like the M on his head,
Okay.
He's like a gray cat with an M on his head, basically. And then I have fish in my room.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I've seen the fish in your room.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was there when we were playing that Outlast party.
Yeah.
I don't think... Did I see your cat and your dog? I don't think so.
My cat was there, but he usually hides from people. My dog, he was at my aunt's house because at the time you guys came over, my family was in Mexico, so my aunt decided to take care of him.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so I don't think you saw either of them.
Yeah, they were just chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because when people come in to the store and they're like telling me what kind of cat or dog they have, they expect me off the top of my head to know exactly what that is because I work there. But a lot of the times I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. You got to tell me what that kind of looks like.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so, okay, let's dive into the first topic. We have a little roadmap here just so we don't get lost. So music is the first topic. Let me see. Let me come up with a cool question. What kind of music do you like?
So I like metal. I grew up with metal. It's stayed with me. I'm always going to listen to metal. As I grew up, I learned to appreciate other genres. Like I can listen to anything now. Yeah, metal will always be like my number one.
Yeah.
Genre for sure.
Any like particular bands that you like?
Growing up, I really like new metal, like Deftones and like Limp Bizkit and all of them. But like now, I would say I'm more into like the hardcore kind of side. Kind of like Kublai Khan and all those bands. Okay. Yeah, Body Snatcher and all of them. Yeah.
See, out of all the bands that you named, I only know Deftones. And that's because when I used to work at Petco, which was the job I worked before this one, there was a girl and we just started kind of like talking, vibing, talking about music, and she's like, oh, I like Deftones. So then me being me, I'm like, oh, I want to connect with her more. Let me listen to Deftones.
Yeah.
And yeah, they have some really good music. After that, I started like looking at Deftone type beats and just like diving into that genre, of that like metal, grungy, rock and roll. It's a cool sound.
Yeah, that's basically my story with Liz too. When we first met, I was into Deftones and I kind of got her into it. Because when we were friends, she liked to do things I did so she could seem cool too. And I didn't even realize, but yeah, she got into like Deftones and all them because of me too.
Yeah. And I'm sure that's like a cool feeling too, like when whether you're interacting with friends or a significant other, like if they are putting in the effort to like the things that you like genuinely, not just being fake.
Yeah.
They're like, it feels good because it shows that they're putting in that effort to bond with you more.
Yeah. Not only that, but just for your own self, exposing yourself to new things as well is always good too.
And then, go ahead.
And for the people who don't know, Liz is my fiance.
Yes. Yeah, we'll talk about her a little more if you're down. But music, let's see. So if the camera doesn't know, Angel, like he said, he's a photographer and he goes to a bunch of different shows. Yeah. And he's pretty tight-knit with like a lot of bands, a lot of the local talent. I'll let him talk more about that.
Yeah, 2 years ago, Liz got me my camera, which is the one we're recording with right now. I've always wanted a camera growing up, but like I always thought like, it's too expensive. Like, oh, I'll get it later. I'll save up for later. And I never ended up getting one. Mm-hmm. And she knew that like I wanted one, and like she always knew that like, you know, I've been wanting to get one and all that. And then one Christmas she got it for me, and she was like, here, like I know you're gonna do good things with it, you know.
Aww.
Like, so like that, literally the first thing I thought like, oh, I'm gonna go to a show and shoot photos. Like I can do that. Like that excited me. So I hit up one of my friends from high school because he's in a band, and that was literally my first show. Rights of Torment, shout out to them.
Yes.
My first band that I ever shot. It was them at the WC Social Club. Mm-hmm. And ever since that, I started meeting new bands, new people. And now bands come up to me for photos, and it's pretty cool. I'm getting paid for it.
Yeah, heck yeah.
It's constantly growing.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
How does that, like, you know, from where you started to where you're currently at, like, how does that journey make you feel?
Oh, really proud. Because, like, before that, like, I was always stressed with, like, oh, what am I going to do with life, you know? Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm not going anywhere. Like, I have these interests, but, like, I don't know how to make that into any type of career, you know? So, like, this, like, it definitely made me more confident and, like, oh, like, this is possible, you know? Like not even, like, 2 years in, I'm already getting paid for it. Bands are coming up to me. I'm going to have my first tour in August with Rights of Torment.
Yes, full circle.
Yeah. And I think a few months ago, I went to Ohio with one of the bands on their show. So yeah, it's constantly growing, getting more followers, meeting new people and friends. It's cool.
Yeah, it's definitely like a confidence boost.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel like it's one of those things in our particular industry where sometimes you really have to like check yourself, because you know, you don't want to be one of those people who like gets lost in the sauce kind of thing. Like, I think what I really try to show is like you can reach those levels, but you could also have like a humbleness to you and like a grounded side to you.
Yeah.
And you just really have to like balance both of them. Mm-hmm. But it does feel good though. It's just like seeing your work get noticed and the recognition, and heck yeah.
Yeah, cause like, the only reason I started charging bands was because like, you know, gas started getting more expensive.
Yeah.
Like going to shows and back and all that, you know. Like if it wasn't for that, I would be shooting for free. Like I don't care. Like it's fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy seeing people. I love shooting. I love editing. I like everything about it, you know. But yeah, I stay humble with it, you know. Even with like my the way I edit photos, like sometimes I'll think like, oh, I gotta perfect my editing, you know, like it's gotta be good for these bands. But at the same time, like no, like it's fine. Like people like your work, like they'll do, you know, they'll hit you up like for whatever, you know, just do what you want, experiment if you want, but don't think you have to like stay with one thing or like, I don't know, like impress like a band or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Just do what you want, you know.
They came to you for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you can't really. I feel like with photography, because it's such a creative talent, you know, you have to learn how to not second guess yourself and just kind of go with that flow state.
Yeah.
You know, just let that creativity flow and ooze out of you.
Yeah.
With no hesitation. Heck yeah. And okay, so I'm gonna keep talking about music. So I know you do on your Instagram, you do like a lot of photos of bands and whatnot.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about like doing music videos or like visualizers or anything like that, like expanding that photography?
Yeah, I've experimented with some video before. I was really into video like back in like high school. I've taken video courses. That's how I learned like Adobe Premiere Pro and all that, like Final Cut Pro. We would like make like short movies and all that. So I've always had like a side of like video.
Yeah.
And like a visual for video, you know. It's definitely a lot more work in that side. But yeah, I still try to like shoot some video here and there. I know my camera doesn't support a microphone, so it's kind of hard to like get a good sound. But like eventually, I think I will get a video camera.
Yeah, there you go.
Experimenting with it, because I do love music videos. Like I constantly have like visuals in my head whenever I hear a song or anything, and I feel like that would give my bands, my friends, like another like I don't know, just another visualizer for them to check out and try out,
Yeah, people love visuals. Anything that they could see, especially if it has a nice sound to it, whether it's a song or just sound effects. People eat that shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have anything you want to specifically touch on in regards to music?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we talked about that.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one, video games or just games. All right. So what are you playing recently?
Recently, since it's winter, like I'm kind of getting into the zone where like, let's just embrace the snow and the cold. Like what kind of video games take place in that kind of like theme,
Nice.
So I know like Until Dawn has like, kind of like a winter vibe to it. I think Life is Strange kind of has like a cold side to it. But I'm just like seeking for games with the seasons that we're in now.
I like that. You try to like immerse yourself in the season.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. That's cool. And one thing I particularly like is because I play GTA online.
Oh, yeah.
So whenever it's like Christmas time, they'll have like Los Santos with snow everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm over there trying to drive my sports car in the snow and like sliding everywhere and shit. Yeah, but that's cool. I know The Last of Us, the first game, has like a snow section.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
When you play as like Ellie for the first time. Yeah. Do you like The Last of Us?
Yeah, I played the first one thoroughly. My friend from school, she gave me the game to try out. And I played it, and like I had it for a while, and like I kept trying to like give it back, even though I liked it. Like I don't like, I don't want to like just keep it like forever. Like here, she's like, no, give it back when you finish it. Like okay, so like that pushed me to like finish the game, and I did, and it was really good. So, yeah.
Is there like a memorable scene that still replays in your head?
Not real. There is. Wasn't there giraffes in that game?
In the first game, towards the end, yeah.
Yeah, I remember there was like a nice scene with giraffes, and like in the end there was like fire and shit.
Yeah.
And that one like kitchen or whatever, I forgot what it was.
Oh, with David, I think his name was.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly the memory that I was thinking when I like asked you that question.
Yeah.
Like that scene where Ellie, she's like fighting Dave throughout, or David, whatever the hell his name is, throughout the restaurant. Oh, we're pausing. But yeah, that scene is crazy. Just like the whole restaurant is on fire, and he's got the machete and he's chasing after you. And dude was straight a weirdo. He was a pedophile trying to like take advantage of her. And just like that scene where like she takes the machete and just starts chopping her. And it's just like crazy. It made me tear up, bro.
Yeah.
And then when Joel comes, he's like, "It's okay," and then he hugs her. I got you, baby girl. Ooh. Yeah. That's a good ass game.
Oh my god.
Have you played the second one?
No, I haven't played it. I don't know why I haven't touched on it.
Yeah.
I remember people saying there was like some kind of weird sex scene in there, and I think that kind of made me like strive away from it.
I'm trying to remember.
I don't know.
Was there?
I don't know.
I don't remember it.
That's the only thing I was hearing, but I'm like, I'm not even gonna touch on it.
Yeah. I will say the second game out of the two, I think, has better gameplay. Yeah. But the first game, I think, has a little bit better story. Better narrative.
Yeah, we were playing that last time I was here at your house, and that's what you said.
Oh yeah. I remember that. Yeah. Let's see. Some video games I've been playing. I've been playing WWE 2K24 heavy. I've been playing that. I like it because you can like create your own wrestlers, and you can like take songs like off Spotify or whatever, and you could put them as your entrance music.
Oh really? You can do that now? I didn't know.
And sometimes she's not on camera, but my sister, she's over here, Lee. She likes to like create her own little characters too. It's like a nice little way to be creative and have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, I remember with like the 2007, like WWE 2007 and all them. My main thing was like creating characters and just seeing their entrance. You know?
Yeah.
I barely even like wrestled. I'll wrestle like 5 minutes, but like I like creating them and like making their entrance and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's super fun. It's super addicting. What else have I been playing? I've been playing like Skyrim and Fallout. Are you into like those open world kind of games?
It depends. I'm kind of picky on it because I like open world games, but at the same time, I don't like having to like obtain all these items and like crafting them. You know, like I'm not into like that. You know, I'm more into like a simpler kind of like linear kind of thing. You know. I know Fallout, that's kind of basically, you know, grabbing a bunch of like stuff.
Yeah.
Skyrim for sure. I tried it out, but like I never stuck with it. I think because of that. I think I just get too overwhelmed with it. I like a linear kind of like story and pace, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing with those types of games. Is like you get smacked with like so many side quests, you forget which one's the main quest. I was just telling her the other day, like, I've been playing Skyrim since like the Xbox 360 days.
Oh, really?
And even nowadays, like Xbox Series X, several years later, I'm still finding places I haven't discovered. I'm still doing like new side quests that I didn't even know were there. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. I think on Fallout, I have like, because it keeps track of how many hours or days you played.
Oh, really?
And I have like 7 days and like 40 something hours.
Oh my God.
That's like a long time added up over time. Yeah, I like those types of games. Any game where you could create like a character, I like those because I just try to make myself in that universe.
You ever played Saints Row?
Yes, dude, I love Saints Row. Oh my gosh, which one's your favorite?
I think it has to be the third one. I think that's where I was introduced with the second one, but that was my friend's game, so I only played it when I went to his house. But when it came to me, like I bought the third one, and that's what stuck with me. Yeah,
I have a lot of good memories with the third one. I would play with my friend Emmanuel, and we would just be like, we called it Spider-Man. That's like the game, and we're just like jumping from building to building, and you're like skydiving, parachute, tallest building, jump to this building, jump to that building, jump to that building. It's so good. Have you played the new one?
No. I think there's a lot of them now, right? There's the fourth. There's like the gate. What's like the hell?
Get Out of Hell.
Get Out of Hell. And all that. I think I played Get Out of Hell, and then that was kind of it. I haven't played the new one.
Okay. It's pretty decent. If I were to rank it like A through F, I'd probably give it like a B.
A B. Oh, okay. It's pretty solid then.
I would recommend it.
Oh, okay.
It's fun. A lot of people shit on it at first. I think when it first came out, it wasn't. There was a lot of glitches and whatnot. But it's a lot polished now.
What's it called? Yeah, same thing. Like even in those games, like I like creating cars, customizing cars, and just driving them around. That's really all I do. Even in GTA, I just customize cars and drive them around. And that's all I do. I'll shoot some people here and there. Like I just like driving around. It's like therapeutic for some reason.
It's just just decorating, you know. Hell yeah. No, the thing with GTA, like how I play, because obviously everyone plays different. Like I try to not be like a murderous rampage dude. I try to like, you know, follow the laws somewhat. And if I'm doing a mission where I have to kill someone, like whether it's a gang member or like someone trying to kill me, like I'll do it. But like I'm not gonna just pedestrian, let me kill him for no reason. You know?
Or like stopping at a red
light. I'll do that sometimes and just like have the radio playing, just like I'm cruising to the beach.
When people say like, oh, like they play those games to like let out their anger, I'm like, man, like what kind of anger do you have? You know?
Right.
Like I get it, you know, but like damn.
No, part of me, I'd be feeling bad. Like, oh no, I accidentally ran someone over.
I know. Like, damn, man, they had a wife.
Right. They had a family. That's funny, though. I think it was a movie I saw. It had Ryan Reynolds in it, and he was like an NPC or some shit. And it's like, oh, NPCs have feelings. That like really changed my perception on like NPCs in video games. So I try to show them more respect. If you were in a video game universe, what video game would you be and why?
Ooh, It has to be something where like you can like, I don't know, like I don't know, like Minecraft or something.
Yeah.
Like Minecraft. Or have you ever heard of Scribblenauts?
No, I don't think so.
No, it's kind of like it was like an old DS game where like literally it had like a search bar. You would tap it and then type whatever. Like you could type in like dog or cat. If you type in dog and press OK, it'll give you a dog. Or a cat or like a weapon or this or that. Like, I feel like a game like that would be kind of cool. Like, oh, just asking for whatever you want.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I feel like it's a easy way to go into like, oh, I want to go into like The Last of Us or like Call of Duty or something. Like, no, I don't want to be in there.
Yeah,
I don't want to
just like dying all the time.
I just want like a peaceful game. Like, oh, I can have whatever I want. You know, might as well.
That's a good perspective.
Yeah.
Do you know Kingdom Hearts?
I know of it. I've read their books back in school, but I never played the games.
Yeah, I would go in that universe.
Yeah.
I'll give you a brief description. So basically, it's Disney combined with Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
And the main character, his name is Sora. He has this like sword, but it looks like a key.
Yeah.
And basically, he goes to like these different Disney worlds, these different Final Fantasy worlds. And you can interact with all these characters like Toy Story or Tarzan or Ratatouille, whatever.
Ratatouille. Really? Isn't it too?
And you could like basically go in there and there's like these zombies. They're called Heartless. They're like creatures of the darkness. And his Keyblade is the only thing that could like kill them.
Okay.
Like if you have a gun or if you have like a knife, like they won't die.
Really?
You need a Keyblade to kill them. And basically those darkness zombies, they just like feed off the souls of people. And once they feed off of them, they like take their heart. And when you kill them with the Keyblade, it's like you release the heart back into heaven.
Oh.
And basically you just go into all these worlds and you unlock it because there's like a metaphorical door like in each world. And you locking it like shuts out the darkness and brings back the light. Oh. It's very complex.
So like, I know he has a key sword. So like, is he the only one who can kill all of them?
In the first game, yes, but as the games go on, more and more people have them.
Oh really? Oh okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I think you'd like it.
Yeah, because I have another friend named Nicky. He's another photographer, and he was trying to get me into that too.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I should try it out then.
You gotta start with the first one if you are.
The first one? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the first one, it has Tarzan, Alice in Wonderland, Nightmare Before Christmas, Pinocchio, just to name a few.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Do they have, I think they have them like on Xbox, right? They have them like remastered or something?
Everywhere. Xbox, PlayStation, PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like the bundles too. Like for like $30-$40 you could buy like the first 4 or 5 games in the series.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm like on the 6th game. I recently finished the 5th one, so I have to buy like the next set, the next bundle, to play like 6 through 8 or whatever the next few ones are.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. Let's see. Let's do one more video game question and then we'll move on.
Okay.
Let's see. Ooh, I have a good one.
Okay.
Okay, so what video game characters or just singular character do you feel like you relate to the most?
Ooh.
You gotta stroke the beard for that one.
Dude, I know there's probably better answers, but like they never come to me right away. I always think of like characters that like with games that I like, but like I never, there's probably like better answers out there, but like I don't know. We'll start with you first, and then maybe I'll get an idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, back to Kingdom Hearts. The main character, Sora, I feel like I relate to him the most. Part because I feel like I grew up with him. Like in the first game, he's like a 13, 14-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And when I first got introduced to that game series, I was probably like 9 or 10. And as the games go on, they have like, they're working on the 4th one that's coming out. Maybe this year, next year, I don't know. But as the games go on, he's like progressively growing. I think he's like 18 or 20 or some shit now.
Really?
So I feel like I've been growing up with him as the years go on. And because I was growing up with him, I feel like I tried to implement a lot of his personality traits into my own.
Yeah.
Like, for example, he's super positive, he's super like goofy and funny, and he like never gives up, and he has like a lot of love in his heart, and he cares about his friends, and just like those qualities I feel like I really tried to ingrain within myself, you know.
Yeah, that brings you to a good game then. Have you heard of Life is Strange?
I've heard of the title, but I don't really know what it's about.
So there's a few games, but basically each one, you play as a character, and you're going through like a story, but you get to choose your kind of like your path, like your decisions on what you do when you interact with people and like situations, you know. But like they're really like, I don't know, they're really like heartfelt, you know, like they're really like, it's like a calm game, and like I feel like playing those like makes you like I don't know, think about like your actual life choices, you know. And just your overall, like, you know, I don't know, like relationship with people and how you handle situations and how one thing might affect the other, you know. I feel like those are really good games to like. So like I don't have like a certain like character. I feel like those games are good to like, you know, base off.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. That kind of reminds me of The Walking Dead, like those Telltale games. I don't know if you've heard of those, but those are also decision-making games.
Yeah.
Where like your choices affect the ending and the outcome, and definitely like a polar opposite to what you described. It sounded way more peaceful.
Yeah.
Like The Walking Dead, your decision could be life and death, you know. And a quick story before we move on to the next topic. I had my mom play the first Walking Dead, and she was just like freaking out over the decisions. In the first game, there's like a choice, because there's like a group and they take in a kid, and they're like, oh, we don't know if the kid is bit or not. And some of the group is like, oh, he's just a kid, like let him be. And then the other half of the group is like, no, get him out of here. And my mom's like trying to make the decision. She's like, no, get him out of here, kick him out. I'm like, damn, you're cold. You're gonna kick out a little kid.
I thought she was gonna keep him.
Yeah, right? Yeah, but I love games like that too. Because they really like you were saying, they make you reflect on your own decisions, you know?
Yeah, because the first Life is Strange game, it's based on like a friend and like a friend that you like were like really good with like back then, but you kind of faded, and then she came back into your life. So like you're kind of like going through the game, like just kind of like going through like you know, like I don't know, like just growing up together basically. And then the second one is about like two brothers. There was like an incident that happened in their home, and they had to leave home. So they're kind of like wandering off and trying to find like their place, you know? So like it's really like heartfelt game, you know? Like it's nice. You should try them out.
There you go. That sounds like a nice game to just come back after work and just turn your brain off and immerse yourself and not be stressed out. That's cool. Okay. Cool. Let's move on to another topic.
Okay.
I want to go back to photography a little bit more. So obviously that's like your career, that's your passion. Where do you like envision yourself in the future? Like where would you like to take photography?
For sure. I would like to make it like, you know, like my main career. I know it's gonna be like a long while before like I make it like my only career. But, like even getting to like a point where like I only need a part-time job, because that's gonna be my main one. That would be nice, you know. And not only that, just overall like exploring like my visual outfits, you know, like expanding my art, you know. Hooking up with more bands. I don't know, it's just like expanding it all together, you know. That's
cool. Would you ever consider taking your photography beyond music, like for example modeling or movies or just different avenues?
Good question, because like when I was into video, you know, I was into like movies and like cinematography and like like different angles and like lightings and stuff. So I do like that. So I might get into that too with photography, you know, trying to like lay out like lightings and stuff. And,
Yeah.
you know, that would be cool too. I think I should try that out too.
Yeah. Yeah, because at the Forge, you know, they have like different events where they'll do like dwarf midget wrestling or like, you know, mud wrestling, whatever. Like, I think it'd be cool if you were to like go to those types of events and take pictures of those, you know, and just kind of like expand your repertoire and engage a new audience.
Yeah.
You know, just, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, because like I mainly do like metal shows. Like I've been wanting to expand into like, oh, maybe I should go to like a jazz show, or like, oh, I should do this type of show or that, you know? Like trying that out first would be cool. And then like you said, getting into like other like events, like kind of like away from music would be kind of cool too.
Yeah, or even like more simple things, like you go to the zoo, you know, or you go to a museum. Like you could really play with your creative eye in those environments as well with your photography.
Yeah, that's what I did when I first got my camera too. It was a balance between shows and just going outside and shooting photos. Like I literally took my camera everywhere. There was like me and Liz went on a trip with my sisters to Madison to see Perse de Veil. But we were
so good.
But we were also there for like I think an extra like day or so. So we were kind of exploring like Madison, Wisconsin, and I took my camera. We were going through like the zoo and we were going through like the city and stuff. Yeah, it was cool. And I got like my photos, and like you said, it creates, you know, it creates like, you know, like your visual eye and stuff.
I feel like you, with your talent and your career, like you see the world different, like how I would see it. Like we would be walking down the same street and then I would be like, oh, it's just a stop sign. But you'd be like, oh, do you see how the light reflects off the stop sign and like the background, how it looks, you know, just, you have like a different sense to that type of stuff.
You know, yeah, for sure. Like I said, even when I was like skateboarding back then too, like for some reason, like skateboarding, like you see things differently. Like you see, like people would see like a curve, like, oh, it's just a curve. But as a skater, you're like, oh, that would be cool, like grind or like ollie off of, you know, like even that too. It's like, I don't know, it's good to have like a different perspective or eye, whether it's photography or just anything else, you know.
Heck yeah.
Because it kind of brings you back to like how we were talking about earlier before the video, like your senses, you know. I feel like there's different ways to bring you back to your senses as well.
Yeah, heck yeah. And yeah, for sure, with photography, like your eyes are your main sense.
Yeah.
And then like for me, like music, my ears are my main sense. Yeah, it's cool. Like everyone just has their own little areas that they shine in, you know. And then as far as your photography, I want to know a little deeper about like the background editing, like what really goes into it that no one knows.
So I really try to get photos out like as fast as I can. Like for bands, you know, like I want to get it to them like in like a day or two after like the show is done. But like it doesn't stress me out or anything. You know, like I enjoy editing. Like I'll go home and I'll literally put an SD card and I'll, you know, delete photos that maybe they didn't come out good, and I'll keep the good ones. You know, I'll edit them out. You know, like I love editing. I could edit for hours and hours. Like especially with nights where like I have multiple bands. Like I'll edit for hours, and like I have to like remind myself like, hey, like you gotta take some breaks. You know, like you've been in your room for like all day. Like go, I don't know, go grab a snack or something, or go out for a bit, you know.
Go talk to your mom or something.
But yeah, I love editing. I always try to perfect like each image too, you know, like I'll apply my main filter to them, but I'll still go through each individual one and adjust like the exposure or like the blacks and like shadows and all that, just to make each one pop and stand out, you know. I just want to, you know, like, you know, you just want to give the best for like your clients and bands, you know.
And that shows me that you're very serious about your craft. You know, you don't want to just you don't want to just put out any type of bullshit, you know, you want to put out content that you're proud of, that you feel represents you.
Yeah, and I've had, you know, days where like, you know, I kind of just like slap things together and like I'll send it out and I wasn't like really proud of it. Like they were still good, but like I didn't give like my full and divided like detail, you know. And I don't like when I do that. But I think when it comes to that, that's just me realizing like, oh, like maybe I need to like take a break, or like maybe I should just come back to it, and that way I can put my more time into it, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely like to give the most to my clients, you know.
Yeah, I relate to that with my when I mix and master songs, like when I throw all the effects and edits and whatnot. Like if I really wanted to, I could just sit there for like 2-3 hours and just slap some shit together and call it a song. But like, I don't know, I feel like when I'm doing it, my ears, they all kind of blend in, like everything starts to sound the same.
Yeah.
So then I really have to give myself like a break, whether it's an hour, a day, 2 days, whatever. So I can come back to it with fresh ears, a fresh perspective, and like, you know, add whatever I think is missing that I didn't notice before.
Yeah, for sure. Because like I've mixed like music back then too, so like I definitely get what you're saying. You know, I think it's a good habit to take a break and come back to it, regardless of any type of art you're doing. You know, it gives you like, because you could be like stuck in it for hours and like like you said, it'll blend in and like, but like if you go take a break, even if it's like a day, you know, come back to it with like fresh eyes, fresh mindset, you'll realize things like, oh, like, okay, you know. For sure.
Yeah, I'm wondering, because like I was saying, with my ears, everything starts to sound the same and blend in. For you, because you mainly use your eyes, does that like a similar thing happen? Like, oh, everything's starting to look the same, I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. Or even like, I'll, you know, there might be like tricky photos that I'll have, like, oh, maybe like the exposure was too high, or it was like too low, or like it's kind of dark. And I'm overthinking like, oh, like I gotta like fix this and that, and like, you know, I'm trying to like perfect it, and like, oh, it's not coming out the way I want. But like I realize like if I go away and come back to it, I'm like, oh, like it's fine, you know, just adjust this a little bit and it's fine, like, you know. Like not every picture's gonna come out perfect, but like someone in the band might, you know, appreciate the picture and still use it, you know.
And that's the cool thing, it's like you're capturing moments that last forever. Like those pictures, you put them out online, and you know, everyone dies. When you die, when I die, they're still gonna be here. You know, they're just gonna live on forever.
Yeah, that's what people tell me at shows, and it always like brings me back to like, damn. Like people tell me like your photos are the reason people come to these shows, or that people people who weren't able to make it to the show can see, you know, well, you know, how it went down. And like, oh, I never thought about it that way. Like, that's cool. Because like if you think about it, like us as like fans of music, you know, you go to their Instagram page, you see their photos, like they always have a vibe to them, you know, and like you connect with like their visual art, you know. And I didn't realize like I'm literally doing that for other people, you know. It's pretty cool.
That's cool. What programs do you use for your like editing and whatnot?
I use Lightroom for my photos, and I've started to incorporate some like glitch effects with my photos, and that I actually use Premiere Pro. It's a video program, but like I feel like I found that was like the only like program with the best glitch effect, you know. I've tried other ones like free apps and stuff, and I don't really like them, but that seems to have the best one. So I'll just put a photo in there, and then I'll just export them as like JPEGs. So it'll export them as like frames.
Okay.
So that's what I do.
Good. Okay. Okay. We'll talk about one more thing with photography, and then we'll move on to the next subject.
Okay.
So obviously there's going to be a lot of people watching this. New people who are into photography or are thinking about going into photography. Like what kind of advice or tips would you give those people?
literally just start. Like if you don't have a camera, like just get one. It doesn't matter what camera you have. Like literally you can get like a cheap one like from Goodwill or like, you know, like Target or whatever. Like you just get a camera and shoot everything that you can, whether you're going out on a walk, you're going to the zoo, you're going to a show, just shoot everything that you can. Find like that'll like help you find like what you like to stick with, and like that'll help you with your visual eye, you know. Just take as many photos as you can, and everything else will come together for you, you know. You just gotta do it. I know it's like a cheesy thing, like, and everyone says it, but it's true. You literally just have to do it, and everything will come to you.
Yeah, Nike said it first. Just do it.
I know. I always think about that.
Yeah, it's so simple, but yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, even if you just use your phone.
Yeah. Like, even your phone too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of phones nowadays, like, they have a lot better quality than a lot of cameras do.
Yeah.
And like different filters on your phone too. Like, I still take pictures of my phone sometimes too if I don't have my camera with me. Yeah. And I still upload those on my Instagram too. Phone, camera, anything really. Even if it's like a shitty phone with shitty quality, like some people really like that aesthetic and style. Yeah, that could be a vibe too. Yeah. So yeah, just do it. Just start. Yeah. Okay. I know you like to skateboard. I think we briefly talked about that. Oh yeah. How did you first get into skateboarding? I think when I was little, I don't remember exactly how, but I probably just, I don't know, like I think I remember. My aunt Jessica, she had an Xbox and a PlayStation 2, and I think she had a Tony Hawk game, but she was also into like Jackass and all that too. So I think watching and playing those like exposed me to skateboarding. And then, of course, I got my skateboard, like cheap like Walmart boards and all that. But I'd always have those, and I would like go to like my nearest skate park and just skate and all that. Like before, I would try to do like tricks, but they were always hard for me. So like I kind of just like ride around the ramps and all that. And I'll try to do like a couple, like jump off like or ollie off like a stair or whatever, but it's hard. Yeah. So like right now, I kind of just cruise. I have a longboard now, so I find myself just cruising a lot. Every now and then I'll go to a skate park and just go on the ramps. Yeah. Same here. I have I don't know the technical name for a board, but it's basically like a smaller board, easier to do like flip tricks with. Yeah. And sometimes I'll go out in the garage or in the basement and I'll just try to do like ollies. I'll try to do like top shove-its or whatever, or just like little hand tricks, twirling the board. And I remember I went to this one particular skate park, and they had like this huge ramp. And this was like when I was a beginner, and I'm like, I'm gonna go down that ramp, I don't care. And when I went down, I like leaned too far back. Luckily, I had like the equipment on, but I just slammed so hard. And I feel like skateboarding, it's one of those sports where like, it's like when you get hit or like when you fall and it's nasty, it's like you really realize how dangerous it could be if you don't protect yourself. Like it's fun, just going down ramps and cruising, but like there's a dangerous side to it as well. Yeah, because like you'll think about it, like, it's just a board with wheels, like, but like it's dangerous, I don't know. I think it makes that factor makes it fun though. Yeah, so like if you are like in skateboard, you kind of need to just like you can't overthink the tricks you're gonna do. You kind of have to like do them, because like your overthinking is actually gonna like set you back and like kind of hurt you. So, like most of the time, if you don't like just go for it, Yeah, and I think skateboarding offers like a lot of life lessons. Like you were just saying, like no, don't hesitate, go for it. Yeah. Or even if you fall, like you get back up, you try again. You grow resilience. Yeah. Yeah, the amount of times you fall, it grows resilience. So, like, you see pro skaters, like they'll have like a hard ass bail, and like you're like, ooh, like they'll come up like no, like nothing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh shit, okay. And I feel like that's how a lot of skaters are, for sure.
Yeah, and the skate community is so chill, and I haven't, as long as I've been skateboarding, which has been like maybe 2-3 years, I haven't had any issues with anyone at the skate park, or I haven't had any beef with any other skaters. Everyone's just so chill and kind, and like, I know there's like a stigma, like, oh, I don't want to go to the skate park because I'm new, they'll make fun of me. But like, I've had situations where they'll give me tips and tricks, like, oh, if you move your foot this way, you could do an ollie better. They really try to look out for you.
Yeah, when I was little, like I was scared to go to like skate parks, like because of people being there, like they're gonna look at me like I'm not even good, Like a lot of times they're kind of just in their own space, or they're like you said, like they're looking out like for you, like they'll give you tips in here and there, and I feel like you should never like overthink.
Yeah, I agree. and that's the cool thing about skateboarding too. It's like, it's a cool way to bond with a community of cool people, but you're also getting your fitness in. You're also working on your cardio and working on your leg strength and your balance and all that type of stuff. And if you fall, you get back up, you build calluses, your skin grows back stronger. It's just a cool way to stay fit. How do you feel like in your life, whether it's currently or just history, how do you enjoy being fit?
Well, when I was skateboarding a lot back then, that's how I stayed fit. My cardio was up, my leg, like I feel like that's how I got the strength in my legs too, skate, because I would skate everywhere, I would skate like for blocks and miles, so yeah. But growing up, let's see, I think it was skateboarding, biking, and then once I got to like college, like around, it's like senior year, I started jogging for fun, just to like lose some weight, but also like kind of just give myself like another form of exercise to do. And it wasn't until like the next year in college, I saw that there was a cross country team. I'm like, like I've never been in like in any type of team, like I've never done like football or baseball or anything, but I feel like because I've been jogging already, like maybe I could get into this and try it out, like it would be like a fun thing. And I did. I went into cross country and I started, we would run every morning at 6 a.m. We would run for like,
oh wow, yeah, 30, that's early.
Yeah, like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour and a half. We would have like 5-mile races. They were tough, but like once you finished those races, like you felt like so good. Yeah. And definitely my cardio was like way up, and it goes back into like your daily things, like if you're going up the stairs or something, like like you're not tired, like you're not out of breath, you're not out of breath for like a lot of things. And that's why I try to keep my jogging for sure, trying to stay active. And that's what I'm doing now. It's kind of cold now, so like I'm at the gym on the treadmill. But yeah, once it starts to get warmer, I'm gonna be outside jogging for sure. Jogging is my favorite thing to do.
It is
jogging fun. And listen to music while I'm jogging for sure.
And then you get like that runner's high.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you so you skateboard, you jog, do you incorporate like any other types of workouts, like lifting or anything else?
I started that when I was doing cross country. I kind of like fiddled with workouts, but I wasn't like serious about it, I would kind of just jog and then do like some bicep curls and here and there, and then that was it. I was mainly on like doing my running and getting my cardio up and my my fat like kind of like low, but yeah, now I'm starting to like lean into like try and balance out both. So cardio and muscle strength. Because even if I'm not trying to get like like buff and shit, I still want to get like some of like most of my muscle groups, you know, like stronger, you know, just for like dailies, because especially, you know, like getting older, you know, you want to stay fit and flexible, you know, for sure.
Yeah, and I feel like as a man, you know, we're kind of looked at in society as protectors. So like having a little bit more muscle or like flexibility, agility, all that type of stuff, it really like it's that masculine energy, that masculine frame, you know?
Yeah, because like what gives me motivation is like, okay, like I know one day I want to be a dad. You know, like I want to be healthy and active for my future kids. You know, like that's gonna have to start now. You know, I can't just like, oh, be a dad. I'm like, oh, I should start, you know, like exercising more and all that. You know, like I should start now. That way, I live like a longer life, and I live like, you know, like more like freely and flexible. You know, that way when it comes to actually having one, you know, like I'll always be there in each like aspect. You know.
Yeah. And that's the thing with like being fit is it's good for your outside, your body, but it's also good for your inside and how you feel about yourself and your confidence.
Yeah.
Like what's your opinion correlating mental health with being fit?
Yeah, like there was like a like between when I did cross country, I was in 2020, and like I was, you know, like I was like in like the best shape, you know, like I was slim, you know, like I was like a little like toned, like my muscles, like I was so flexible, like my cardio was like all the way up, you know, like I didn't struggle doing anything, you know. Like I kind of like let myself go like over the years, you know, I kind of gained like a little weight. I haven't been really like active, and that's what I'm trying to do now. And like doing it again now makes me appreciate it, you know, like I always feel good after like I run or after I work out. Like it should just be like a normal thing. Like I don't know why I ever like let myself go, like because like when you do, like you just feel depressed all the time.
Yeah.
And like you just feel like slow in your day. Like why would you even want that, you know? Like even like I think finding an exercise that you like is a good thing, because a lot of people you know, they think exercise like, oh, I gotta work out and like do all this lifting and jog for miles and miles. Like you don't have to do that, you know, like you can do skateboarding, you could do biking, you could just find like a sport that you like that keeps you active. Like even that's like a good way to like, you know, find something you like and make like it'll help you like think how it's not like it's not like a struggle to do, you know. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, heck yeah. And kind of piggybacking off what we were saying, like obviously you want to have a family with your fiance and whatnot. Like being in that good physical space, you know, with your body and with your mind, that's also going to improve your relationships with others, you know, because if you feel like you could protect, if you feel like you're confident and you feel good on the inside, that's just going to affect your, you know, how your energy is with your spouse or with your child or whatever.
Yeah.
Who are like some people in your life who are important to you?
My fiance, my family, my friends, you know, like feel like my fiance, family, friends, like my pets, you know, and the friends I met like doing photography, you know, like I try to keep everyone around me. I try to like hang out with everybody, you know. I try to, you know, like I try to be there for everybody, family or friend wise, you know. I keep a lot of people close to me, honestly. Yeah.
That's cool. Let's talk about Liz a little deeper.
Okay.
How did you meet her?
I met her in 2016. That was my freshman year. So we were registering for high school. So we had to go in and take our photos for our IDs, you know. So I was walking into the school and she was walking out, and we kind of like locked eyes.
Nice.
And I guess like she had like recognized me from Unity. Or sorry, you don't know what that is. It's our middle school. She had recognized me from middle school. So I guess like when she went home, she found me on Facebook and started texting me. And like ever since then, like we've been friends, and we were friends for like 3 years. And then, we would like hang out all the time. We would text every day. And then in 2019, that's when we got together. And about to be 6 years already.
Nice.
6 years in July we're gonna make. And then last year, we got engaged. I proposed to her on October.
That's beautiful.
Long time.
Because I feel like in our generation, dating is very wishy-washy. But the fact that you are sticking with each other like this long and hopefully longer, like I think that's like a rare, special thing.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I see a lot of people in like short-term relationships or like just like messing around all the time. Like, I understand that, like, if you're young, but like people like, like around our age or even older, like still doing that, like, man, like you should, kind of like settle down, I don't know, or like try to take like your relationship like seriously, like, because a lot of people like cheat, man. I don't know, they cheat or like they're not like loyal. I don't know, like,
a shitty feeling.
It's just shitty. Yeah, it's a shitty thing.
That's cool. Okay, so on the subject of Liz, like how the role she has in your life, like how important do you think that is in your life right now?
Oh, it's really important. She's taught me like so many like personal lessons, life lessons, like she's taught me like a lot of things, like so many things, man. Like that, she improves me like every day. I improve because of her, like through everything, really. Like like confidence, like just everything, really.
Yeah. Like you feel uplifted being around her.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, you said she teaches you things and teaches you lessons. Is there like maybe a specific recent one that you want to talk about, like a specific lesson you learned or something that she helped you through?
Let's see. I think most of it has to do with the photography. I would, because I stress myself out a lot of the times. Like I overthink a lot of the times with a lot of things, and she's always there to like bring me back and like reassure me, like, oh, people are not thinking this, people are not thinking that, like you're doing good, like people, like you're doing good, and like you shouldn't overthink, like I don't know, it's just like a bunch of like things like that, or even like our like careers, like I was saying, like I was stressed about like not having a career, and she would kind of like guide me into things, like I would try to like push myself onto things that I maybe didn't want to do, like career wise, and she would kind of like tell me like, hey, like, are you sure this is what you really want to do, like this doesn't seem like you. I feel like you're just doing this because like you're stressed and like you just want like to make money. Like you should like really think about what you want to do, and
that's cool.
So
it seems
she guides me for sure.
Seems like she's really in tune with like your emotions and like the subtleties of who you are and your personality. And it seems like she's really good at like picking up like, oh, something's wrong with Angel, and figure out what's wrong with him.
She always picks it up.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, let's do one more thing about her and then we'll switch topics. How does she get along with your family, and how do you get along with hers?
Oh, we get along well. every time I go like visit my family, like my aunts or my grandma or whoever, they always ask about her.
Oh, nice.
And then I see Liz every week. Like her family is there, you know, her brother Ivan. You know, we all hang out, you know. Hang out with her, hang out with Ivan, her little brother Sam. You know, we all get along well. You know?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing like bad at all, you know, between any of us, you know. Like both families, like we're all cool, you know.
Have you had like, oh, for Christmas my family combines with her family and we all hang out together? Like, have you had experiences like that?
Recently, so she came over for the first time Thanksgiving, and that was the first Thanksgiving that she came over. I'm like, oh, so she came over for Thanksgiving. I'll go over for New Year's, and so I spent New Year's with her and her family. And this was literally our first time doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think because, you know, like being engaged, you know, it kind of like brought that idea, like, oh, maybe we should, you know, just like kind of like switch holidays and stuff, you know. Yeah. So we barely started recently doing that.
Nice, that's cool. And obviously, as time goes on, you just kind of get deeper into that and you expand on that more and more.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. Back to video games for just a brief second.
Okay.
Retro games, retro consoles, like what kind of systems did you play on when you were a little kid?
My main system, PS2. PS2, you know, I always had a heart for the DS,
Okay.
PSP. But yeah, I think PS2 has to be like my main system for sure. I still have a PS2 as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow, I think we have it as well. We have a Wii upstairs that we recently reconnected.
Oh, yeah.
So we were just like playing each other in table tennis,
yeah,
and bowling and basketball. Yeah, Wii was ahead of its time.
I know. It was.
Like you could really get a good exercise workout in just playing like Just Dance or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Wii and PSP was ahead of its time. PSP, like fucking, you got a console like graphics on a fucking handheld.
Yeah, yeah.
So cool.
Yeah,
know?
She recently got a new PSP and she has it modded, so she has like thousands of games on there. Yeah, it's sick. If you could only have one console, new or old, which one would you have?
It'll probably be, I think the Xbox Series. Because I feel like that's what I lean towards most. Because Xbox, you know, they have on their store, they have new games and they have old titles. You know, a lot of those old titles are already titles that I would play on the PS2, like either way. So like I feel like Xbox in general has a bit more variety of games that I would enjoy playing, and I still play to this day, you know?
Yeah.
So for sure, probably the Xbox, you know?
Me too.
Yeah.
I know, like, it's not really relevant now, but in the early 2010s, it was like Xbox versus PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like, I think, I mean, I don't really care about that stuff, but I've always had an Xbox, so I think I'm a little biased.
Yeah, like I have a heart for PlayStation, for sure.
Yeah, me
but
too.
Xbox, like, they just have a bigger library, you know? They're not scared to, like, you know, keep their old titles like active, you know? Like, yeah, I like that they do that.
Yeah, and especially the more recent ones, you can download apps like Netflix or YouTube on there, and you can watch things like Jackass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk to me about Jackass. Like, what do you like about it?
I just like the I don't know, like the nostalgia of it, but I also like the people in it, you know, like Bam Margera. I feel like he's like my favorite, you know, because he's like a metalhead and he's a skateboarder at the same time, you know. I still follow him to this day, you know. I have like DVDs of like his show, Viva La Bam and all that. I don't know, like it's just Jackass, I don't know. It's weird, like, you know, it's just like pranks and like stunts and shit, but like for some reason like it was so cool, like I don't know, like raunchy and shit. I don't know.
Entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw it. It was like a while ago. I posted on my story. I was like, my name is Hector and this is Jackass. And then I got on my hamper and I like rolled down the stairs. It's so funny. It's just like the randomness, the chaos that comes with it.
And I think just the overall like freedom that they have, like, you know, it's literally just friends and a camera and doing stunts, you know, like I feel like that's like it's inspiration to like a lot of, you know, like kids and teens, you know, like literally just do what you want to do.
Yeah. I feel like the modern day version of Jackass is like Dude Perfect. I don't know if you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like they'll take a basketball and they'll like chuck it like 30 feet and then it goes in there and they'll do like random stunts like that.
Yeah.
Obviously it's like more watered down compared to what we grew up with.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let's see.
Record.
There we go.
Cool. Okay, but yeah, Jackass. I know there's like different movies and TV shows. Do you have like a favorite one?
Yeah, probably like Viva La Bam would be my favorite show. You know, because it's literally just Bam, and like at his house, basically doing still like stunts and all that, but it's more like with like his family and his like friends, you know. So I think that's my favorite show, but I think as of recently, I'm trying to get into The Office. You know? Because I've always wanted to get into The Office, but for some reason, like I never like binged it or anything. Like I would watch it if it was on TV, but like, and I would enjoy it, but like I never like sat down to like actually like watch each episode. So I got the box set recently, and I want to like get into it, and, like, you know, just get into like the fandom of it, you know.
Yeah. I know a lot of people love The Office.
Yeah.
I personally never sat down and watched the whole episode, but I've seen like clips online.
Yeah.
There's some funny moments.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about substances for a little bit, like weed and drinking and all that type of other drug world.
Yeah.
Do you indulge in any?
Same thing that's as of recent, you know. For a long time I've stayed away from like drinking and like smoking and all that. Like it just never interested me, and like I never like got around to it at all, you know. Because I was always like I don't know, like a believer in like, oh, like I don't need that. And like, even if like it did aid something, like I don't want to rely on that to like, you know, like but like I don't know, like as of recently, like I decided to like just give them like a try, you know. There's a lot of people like, you know, like smoke weed, you know, and like you can do it occasionally and it's fine, you know. And, like, and I tried it, like, and I didn't like it because it would just make me like more anxious. But like a lot of people were saying like you have good and bad trips, you know. So like I kind of just like do it every other like few months or so. I think recently, the last time I did it was at a rave, and that was chill. I just had like a couple like puffs from a friend's joint, and I was literally just vibing, you know. It was like a light show, so there was like lights on stage and on top of you, so it was just like lasers and shit. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
It's like, wow, all of a sudden the lights look a lot more bright and rich.
And like it was just like, it just, when you're, I don't know, it was just felt like enclosed, you know, like there was just like lights all around me. Like, oh, that's cool. And like it was the first time I wasn't like anxious, you know. But like, yeah, like I don't really like to like stick with it and like do it all the time, but like I'm free to do it, like, you know, on occasion, you know. Like, especially like hanging out, like if like we were to hang out or like, I don't know, just chilling, you know. I don't think I would do it like I don't know. I think it has to be like a good vibe and like
good reason too.
Yeah, like I don't know, situation, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing about it, like, cause we were talking about earlier, I'm sober right now, but I have like a pretty extensive history with like marijuana and like psychedelics, and never really much was a drinker. That wasn't really my vibe, but like psychedelics and smoking weed, that was like my thing. And it's like an energy, you know, and because it's an energy, you can have a relationship with it. And I feel like when it comes to those types of substances, it's so easy to forget that it's an energy, that you can have a relationship with it. And because it's kind of hard to realize, you like kind of fall into this loop of over abusing it, like doing it too much to the point where it starts to become unhealthy. And I think it's really like, you have to take a step back and you have to like really acknowledge like, okay, I have an unhealthy relationship with this substance. Like, I want to be healthy. I want to be the best version of me. And in order to do that, sometimes you have to let certain things go. You know, so I think it's very important. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say, marijuana's the devil, you know, psychedelics hurt, kill people, whatever, because like that's not the reality. You know, like there are people, they'll take a mushroom trip and like it cures their depression, or like it really like opens their eyes and they have like some sort of awakening that turns them into a better person. Or like some people, they'll be in pain because of cancer or whatever, and they'll smoke weed just to escape from that momentarily, or to feel better. It really just depends on like your relationship with that. Same thing with people, you know, like you could have a toxic relationship with a person where it's unhealthy. Same thing with substances, you know.
Because definitely, for sure, I think weed has like, you know, it definitely has benefits. Like if you're like having like going through some type of like injury or like cancer of like some sort, you know, it definitely like helps aid, or like people with like sensitivity problems or something, you know, like that'll usually like calm them down, you know. It doesn't even have to be like a high percentage, you know, it could just be like a little like dose, you know. And like that's nice, you know, because like it's literally like natural, you know.
It literally comes from the ground, you know. It's like put here for a reason. And you just have to have discernment and have like self-discipline to, if you want to experiment with it, like cool. I'm not saying do it, I'm not saying don't do it, but just like know where to draw the line in the sand, you know, and just have that awareness to realize like, okay, either I'm doing it too much, or I have a healthy relationship, I have an unhealthy relationship with it. It's just one of those things, you know, like coffee or water. If you drink too much coffee or too much water, like that's gonna mess you up too.
I think that was like one of my fears, like I don't want to try it and then like rely on it, you know, because like the main reason I wanted to try was like, oh, like maybe it'll like calm me down in like talking situations. At the same time, like, but do I really want to like do that every time I'm gonna talk to someone, you know? Like, I don't want to like rely on that, you know. I'd rather like you know, like fix that problem like myself, you know, without any like alcohol or like, you know, like marijuana or anything, you know. I think it's better to face that yourself and then just leave like marijuana for like, I don't know, just like parties or something, or hangouts, you know.
A birthday, or you're out at a party or a rave, like you were saying.
Especially alcohol. I feel like alcohol, you definitely kind of want to like limit, you know, for sure. Because like it does no good for you at all. You know, it bloats you. It makes you feel nasty. You're hungover the next day. I mean, I haven't been hungover. Like, you know, I know my limits for sure, but from what I've heard and what I've seen with other people, you know, it's definitely bad. You know, definitely something you just want to like limit for sure.
Quick story. So it was a 420 event, and I was performing at a 420 shop, right? It was outside, and towards the end of the night, after everyone performed, there was a giveaway for like a 4-foot bong.
Oh my god!
And one of my homies, he ended up winning, and he's like, "Let's light this shit right now!" And it's like so big to the point where like I was on the other side and I couldn't reach to light it, so someone else had to like light it for me. So I took that hit, but prior to me taking that hit, I took like maybe a 5-second swig of like some Hennessy, and just the combination of that together hit me like a truck. I couldn't even drive. I had to call my mom, like, Mom, pick me up, I can't drive. And then on the way home, I like threw up when I got out of the car, and yeah, like that's just going too far. You know, you just really have to like have your moments, you know. And I feel like personally for me, because you know, I'm living the musician lifestyle. It's like very encouraged to party and like, yeah, be a rock star, bro. And it's like very easy to lose yourself in the sauce, you know. But after you have experiences like that, it's like I don't want to experience that. Or even like with edibles, for me personally, whenever I take edibles, it's like a 50% chance I'll throw up. Oh, really? And I've realized that, and I'm like, yeah, I think I'm good off edibles.
No, yeah, my first thing I ever tried was an edible. Like I took a bite of a brownie. And it was the worst. I was like physically like moving slow. Like, I remember trying to get water, and I was just like this, you know, like this fucking sucks. Like why? Like I hate this, you know. And like the second time it was like it was just a cartridge, you know. I took like 1 or 2 puffs. But I still felt that way, but Liz said I wasn't moving that way. Like I was moving normal, but I guess in my mind I felt like I was moving slow. Yeah. But even then I was like, this sucks. Like I don't even want to like try it anymore. But like I know like the only thing I was missing was like a regular joint. And that's what seems to be like normal, you know, kind of like chill. Yeah. So that's what I tried last time at the rave, and that was chill.
Yeah, the thing about joints is like you can control how high you get. Like if you're like, oh, I think I'm good, I could just stop right here at this level. But with edibles, like you can't stop it. Like it's just gonna keep going, take over. And that same edible experience, which was my last one, which made me feel like I don't like edibles. It got to the point where like I was so overwhelmed, I'm like, I'm just gonna go to sleep, right? And then I'm like in my bed trying to go to sleep, but I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so scary to close my eyes. Like it's scary being in the dark. You know, I was just like so freaked out, I didn't even want to close my eyes because it was so scary.
Okay, have you ever had sleep paralysis?
I have. Really? I have had sleep paralysis, and that leads us nicely into the next topic, which is like paranormal and fears. Oh, and shit. Okay. Yeah. So sleep paralysis, I've experienced that mainly when I was like in my teenage years. But ironically, like my mom, she was like, "Oh, just pray to God, pray to Jesus." And when I started doing that more often, like the sleep paralysis just kind of lessened over time.
Oh, really?
I don't really experience that now. And it's like in patterns, like I can kind of tell when it's gonna happen. Like for example, if I take like a 4-hour nap or a whatever hour nap, and then I wake up and immediately go right back to sleep, it's like more likely to have like a sleep paralysis episode.
Oh, okay.
How about you? What's your experience with that? Like if you ever had one?
So for the longest time, I've never had one. Because I think it's because I never sleep on my back. I usually sleep on my side or like on my stomach, you know? I think one time, it was a few months ago, I slept on my back. And you know my room, it's in the basement. There's no windows, so it gets pretty dark in there. And I fell asleep on my back once, and I was like hallucinating that there was like these like, I don't know, these like devil like dogs coming out of my closet. Yeah, like, oh
fucking Cerberus or some shit.
No, they were like skinny like skinwalker dogs. I'm like, whoa, oh shit,
that's crazy.
Like there was like one came out, and then there was like another shit. Like, oh, that what the fuck, you know? That's whack, you know? But like that was the only one for like a long time. And then recently, I think it was like last week, I fell asleep on my back accidentally. And there was what's it called? I fell asleep on my back, and then I felt something like on my leg, a hand on my leg. And luckily, I was able to move. A lot of people say they can't move, but I was able to move my hands slowly. I'm like, okay, like, you know.
Yeah.
But then, like, I felt something sit down on me, and they put their fucking hands on my throat.
Whoa.
I'm like, oh shit. So I put my hands there, like, okay, there's nothing there. I'm just like hallucinating this. But either way, like, I felt it. You know, it was weird. I'm like, you know.
Okay. Yes. So ghosts. That's where we left off.
Yeah.
You were describing you had like a scary experience with like some devil dogs coming out of your closet or some shit. Okay, so yeah, just what are your thoughts about the paranormal and ghosts and demons and all that type of stuff? Where's your head at there?
It fluctuates a lot. You know, I'd like to believe that there's ghosts just for fun. But at the same time, I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm realizing maybe it's not really like ghosts, but like called like maybe like energies that can be stored in like some like areas where like, I don't know, maybe like things happened, or like either energies or like, let's say like if you're like really tired, like you were saying, like how you went from a nap to waking up to falling asleep. I feel like that can also play effect into like seeing things, you know, because your body is like, maybe like it got confused on like waking up and sleeping, you know. It's like you're half dreaming and half like awake, you know, kind of like that. I feel like that plays a lot with what people think ghosts are, you know, just hallucinations, you know.
Interesting. Yeah, because now that you say that, it's like dreaming. It's like when you're sleeping, you're deep in your sleep. It's like you're living through different scenarios, and it sometimes really feels like you're there, whether you're experiencing it through your own perspective or through someone else's perspective. So when it comes to the topics of like ghosts and all that type of stuff, like I can see how those worlds can be somewhat intertwined. But like, what do you think of, you know, those ghost hunter videos where they'll put out like little tools and whatnot, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's going off, it's a ghost. Like, what do you think of all that type of stuff?
I feel like those are just like finicky like tools, you know. Especially like those radio ones where, you know, like it skips like channels really fast, like and like, I don't know, obviously you're gonna catch something, you know. Like just from like another, like, I don't know, like channel, you know, like going through them that fast, you know. It doesn't mean it's necessarily a ghost, you know. Or like, you know, I've seen those sticks where like they hold them and then they move. Like, bro, come on. So, you know, or I don't know. It's just like, I feel like they're like finicky things that are like, or made to like, you know, like cheaply, or like to you know, play out that way. Like a flashing like a flashlight, like, I don't know, you know. It could be like so many things, you know.
You never really know at the end of the day. Like, unless you're there firsthand experiencing it, like it's kind of hard to judge it. Let's see, what's your thoughts and opinions on like the occult? Do you know what that is? Occult, like for example, like Ouija boards or like tarot cards or like rituals under the moonlight or all that type of shit. Like,
so, well, like I said, like I want to try that out for fun. But Liz is like really like against that. Like, she's really into like energies and like crystals and like, you know, like dark energies, you know. She doesn't want me to like bring that in accidentally. So like she tells me not to use it. Even though I think like, it's whatever. But like I still want to like respect, like, you know.
Respect your dad. No, I personally, I do believe in that type of stuff, that it really exists. Because you know XXX Tentacion. So there's been like a lot of uncovered interviews and uncovered like data that's come up where like he was really deep into that type of stuff. And while he was in jail, while he was in prison, like he was channeling those types of energies. Like he was doing prayers, and he was worshiping like these false idols, these false gods, and basically worshiping them for material things, like to be famous, to get out of jail, to do all that type of shit. And you were mentioning like energies, like everything in the world is an energy. Everything vibrates certain frequencies, all that type of stuff. And the certain energy that he was tapping into was like obviously very dark, because I won't get super deep into it, but like basically worshiping false gods, like that's like a no-go in the Bible, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to him experimenting with that type of stuff, how he died, like that in the end was more so just the energy that he brought to him. And it didn't really help that, you know, when he was coming up, he was putting out like a lot of violent music, a lot of like, I'm gonna rob you, I'm gonna stab you, like, that's the type of energy that he was channeling, because he was worshiping those certain deities. And you can even see like there's pictures of him and he's like in a porn star house, and there's like a big ass Baphomet, like, you know, portrait going on in the background, and there's audio of him like doing spells and like praying to all these different things. And yeah, like obviously there's light in the world, but there's also like a darkness in the world. And I think if you like really don't know what you're doing, like you can accidentally, or even if you want to do it on purpose, you could like attach those negative energies towards you, and that's where like bad luck happens, or you find yourself in the wrong place at the wrong time. So like me personally, like I'm aware that that stuff is out there, and I'm like cool with like educating myself on it and learning about it, but like as far as me firsthand participating in that type of shit, like I'm good.
Because I think before, like, you know, like, it's just a Ouija board, like, you know, like, how many people have tried it, and like, you know, like, I feel like if there was like things that actually happen, like, there would be like more reports on it. At the same time, like, you know, getting older, like, I am like getting more aware, like, maybe there is like energies to it, like, I don't even want to like risk it, you know, just for like fun of trying it out, like it's not worth like the risk, you know. I agree as well. And like what makes me like think that it could be like, you know, like real is like going back to sleep paralysis. Everyone sees the same thing when they're going, you know, in that state. Everyone sees like the black figure, or like like a certain like person or face, you know, like that's kind of weird, you know. Like,
it's not a coincidence.
No.
And what was I gonna say? I mean, like, I think as humans we have light and darkness within us, and I think in some situations it's okay to like embrace your darkness, because without dark there is no light. You know, when we're looking in the sun, we have a shadow that's a part of us. We have things that we don't like about us, that we find are ugly or insecure. That's our dark side, our shadow side. So I think it's okay to like embrace it and accept it, but in a healthy manner, because like life is a spectrum, you know. You have the light and you have the darkness, and if you lean too much either way, like you're unbalanced, and that's going to manifest in unhealthy habits. It's going to manifest in danger in one way or the other. I personally, I like to take that middle path, you know, incorporate a little bit of darkness but also a little bit of light, just mix it together.
And what do you mean by like incorporating darkness? Like just like real, like embracing, like
for example, like, certain dark traits that humans have would be like aggression, right? So say for example, I'm like really leaning in towards my light side, and I'm like, oh, I never want to be aggressive, violence is bad, and then someone fucking breaks in with a gun, right? And I'm just like, oh, I don't want to be violent, and I just let them bitch me out, you know. But if that happens in that moment, I think it's appropriate to lean into that darkness and to like show aggression, or just like different scenarios like that, you know. Different scenarios require light, different scenarios require darkness. And you just have to like balance that.
For sure. Know? I think that goes back to like you know, like prehistoric times too, you know, like that, you know, that fight or flight intention, you know, like or like, you know, like going out and hunting to find like food for, you know, everyone has like their, you know, those instincts, you know, to like defend themselves or like help the people like they're trying to protect, you know, like for sure, like it's in us, you know. We need it for sure, you know.
It's programmed
some people
within us.
like lose it or like, you know, don't pay attention to it, but it's always gonna be there, you know?
And the thing about like our inner darkness is like, if you try to ignore it, or if you try to like sweep it under the rug, or like, oh, that doesn't exist, you know, it's just gonna come out more aggressive in ways that are unconscious.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And that's, I feel like that kind of ties in nicely to the occult world, because, you know, I don't want to get super deep into religion because it's a controversial topic. But like some people, they have like that religious belief, like, oh, you know, you only are supposed to do things of light, and the occult really just symbolizes more of like the darkness in the world. And I think like everyone has the right to believe what they believe in. And I think for me, in my personal life, I just like to find what resonates with me and just combine it all, you know, whether it's light or whether it's darkness. But like I said, I'm like aware of it, but am I gonna play with a Ouija board or, you know, fucking interact and summon a demon in the middle of the woods or some shit? Like, probably not.
No,
Because there's people who really do that.
I know.
It'll be like Halloween with a fucking full moon, and they'll be in the woods like doing some crazy shit.
No, that's like sure. For sure.
Hell yeah. I remember when we went to that one haunted house in Serbia, and I posted a funny ass like picture, just like joking around. It was like that big ass like Baphomet like wolf statue. I was like, yo, who's trying to go into the woods and worship this with me? That was so fucking funny. Yeah. Let's see what the next topic is. Facing fears. Okay, so that's like a nice transition into the next topic. Okay, what do you feel is like a recent fear that you've conquered or you want to conquer?
I think my social anxiety, you know, talking to people, being comfortable around people, you know, like not overthinking. I think that's still my main one, and I'm still working on for sure.
Yeah. That's a good one, especially because you, like I said, you acknowledge it and you're aware of it. So you could put in like the practical steps to like overcome that. And this is like, you know, helping, because we're obviously talking and having a conversation, getting used to expressing yourself. And the key is really just to train yourself to remove that filter that you have in your head. You know, because I like to think there is no perfect thing to say, just say what you feel, and that's the best thing to say. And obviously there's like techniques, you know, you got to work on your delivery, and you got to have compassion and care for the other person's feelings so you don't come off rude or whatever. But that's just all skills that you learn as you go.
And like, especially like listening to, I feel like that's one of the biggest things. I struggle making eye contact with people. Like, I'm fine with you, but like other people, like I have to like look down and like listen to them. I can't look at their face, you know, or their eyes, you know. It's like, because then I'm thinking like, okay, am I looking at them too much? Like, should I look away? And then I'm not listening to them. Like, fuck, I don't even know what they said. You know?
Because you're so in your head freaking out.
So, like, I want to like, you know, like listen properly, you know, and just, you know, staying calm and like comfortable, you know, like, not overthinking. Like, oh, are they looking or this, you know?
And I think it's just really like, you have to develop the mindset of, at the end of the day, no one really gives a fuck. They're so like tuned in to their own world. Like, they're so focused on their own insecurities and their problems and their own issues, where it's like those thoughts you have of like, oh, are they looking at me weird? Do they think I smell, or do they think I look weird, or whatever the anxiety the case is? It's like, a lot of the times they're not really thinking about you how you think they are. They're just a lot of the times thinking about themselves. You know, and once you realize, like, at the end of the day, like, everyone's worried about their own thing. No one really gives a fuck, you know?
Yeah.
And not to say it like in a negative way, like no one cares about how you feel. Like obviously you have friends and family, but like just that anxiety of like, oh, I'm scared to express myself because they might look at me a certain way. Like that's bullshit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because when you think about it, it's not like you're thinking about that when you're talking to someone. Like you're not thinking about that about them. So like, why would why would you think that they're thinking about that with you? You know?
Like when I go to sleep at night and I'm in my bed, I'm thinking like, oh, what are some things I could have done better or worse or whatever. I'm not thinking like, oh, I don't like Angel's shirt that he wore. You know, like I'm not really, I don't give a fuck. You know? And that's just humans. You know? They're really just honed in on their own world. So I think like you just have to not give a fuck. You know? And it's easier said than done. It's like a mindset you just have to learn to develop day by day. But like, yeah, just when you're in conversation, just kind of remind yourself, like, just express yourself how you want. Because even if it's awkward or embarrassing, like they're gonna not remember it.
So like when you greet and talk to people and everything, are there certain phrases that help you like keep the conversation going that have helped you?
Yeah, well, it's funny because recently, particularly with girls, because like we were talking about off camera, that's kind of like what motivated me to get better with my social skills, because I wanted to date the girls that like I found really attractive. So I recently learned, I had an issue where in the beginning I would come off like too strong, too intense, and I would have to like chill out, lean back a little bit more. And one thing that you could use that's super casual and incorporate as like an opening greeting, it's just like a compliment. Like you could say you're at work or wherever, you could just be like, oh, hey, I like your shoes, they're cool. You know, it's very simple, very easy, and then you could transition easily like, oh, do you usually wear those types of shoes? Like, do you like Nikes? Do you like Jordans? Where did you get those shoes? Is that your favorite color? And then it just takes one topic to land well, and then all of a sudden you have conversation flowing because they add like, oh, I got it at Target. And then you could be like, oh, I like Target, I buy my video games there. Oh, I like video games too. You know, just little things. And it's really about not expecting anything and not attaching to a certain outcome. Because especially for me, like when I would walk up to girls and talk to them, like I would talk to them and I would feel like kind of good because I did it, but then I feel like shit because I'd be like, oh, but I didn't get her number though. You know, and I came to realize it's not about what you get, it's about what you share. So like just the fact that I went up there and got out of my comfort zone and said hi and had a quick conversation, like, okay, maybe it didn't go anywhere, but at least we shared like a cool moment, you know, between humans.
That's true. So like, so like with your music and when you meet people, obviously sometimes you're thinking like, oh, if I talk to this guy, maybe this will lead me here, or like he can help me with this. Like, what about those type of outcomes? Like, do you still think like, oh, like maybe I should just share and then eventually, or like, do you not think of outcomes like in those perspectives?
Well, it really depends on like the context of the situation. So for example, if I'm like at a Thanksgiving dinner talking to my aunts or uncles, like I'm not really expecting anything out of it. I'm just kind of in the moment and seeing where the conversation goes. But say I'm talking to a guy at a venue and I'm there with the purpose, the mission to network. Or I'm talking to a girl and obviously I feel like I like her and I want to lead it towards something. Like I'll have like an idea, like a mission of where I want it to go, but I'm also like calibrating and seeing where they're at. So like if I'm meeting you for the first time and we're networking and it's like, it's obvious to me that, oh, he's a photographer, he's here to network, I'm a musician, I'm here to network, it makes sense to like get the social media or whatever. Especially if we're But yeah, it just depends on like the context, the dynamic.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes if I know I'm going in there with a mission, with a purpose, like I'll have that idea in the back of my head, but I'm also not forcing it. I'm just kind of seeing where the conversation goes. If there's natural opportunity to make that move, I'll make it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try not to like force things, just kind of talk, and if it naturally leads there,
yeah,
I'll take the chance.
That's cool. I never thought about it that way. Like just, it's just like to say hi and like share. Like, yeah, I could imagine how good that would feel. Just like, oh, like giving a compliment or like sharing or something.
Yeah, because like when you give a compliment, not only are you making that person feel good, but because you're making them feel good, it makes you feel good.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's say like you're going out somewhere. Do you think about like things that you might want to bring up, or do you like to like just go and have things come naturally?
A little bit of both. So what I like to do is I like to just be in the moment and not really have like a plan, like I'm going to talk about this and I'm going to talk about this and I'm going to talk about this. Like I don't really like to do that because conversations, they're very spontaneous and it's hard to just like plan out and structure a whole conversation, because you bounce from topic to topic. Everyone has unique things to talk about. But like sometimes what I'll do is I'll have maybe like one thing, like if I can't really think of anything, I'll have like one thing stored in my back pocket, and I'll kind of like think of that beforehand. So for example, say I'm going to a bar and I know I want to go talk to people. Like I'll think, oh, what did I do today? Oh, I went to go pick up my dogs at the groomer, and that'll be like my one go-to topic if I really can't think of anything. But besides that, I'll just, how's your day? Simple things, and then they'll tell me how their day is, and I'll just listen for like little, I like to say golden nuggets. Like little cues. If they say, oh, my day was good, which is like the standard human, like, oh, my day was good. Oh, what was good about it? Because they said good. So, what was good about it? Oh, I woke up and I watched TV. Like, okay, TV, that's the cue. That's the hint. Like, oh, nice, I like to watch TV. Like, I like to watch The Walking Dead. Do you like The Walking Dead? Just listening for those little like topics that you could monkey branch off into. Cool. All right, you said you had another question?
Yeah, so let's see. Like, do you ever feel like if you're talking to someone, do you ever feel like maybe they're trying to like rush conversation, or like you feel like they're not in, like they're trying to like go, like let's say like at work, you're talking to like a customer at podium or something, like they're trying to leave, like how do you usually handle that? Like you just
I think when like you're trying to say if whether they're engaged or disengaged, or like interested, not interested, or just like acting nice kind of thing. So I think it really, you have to learn to read people's body language. It's like very subtle nuances, but like once you start to like, oh, let me look how their body is, you like start to pick up on patterns. So for example, like positive body language, if you're talking to someone and they're like looking at you in the eyes, like for a good amount of time, you could tell they're actually like listening and engaged. But if you're talking to someone and they're like looking around, kind of looking at their watch, or like what's going on over here, what's going on with my shoes, like not really paying attention to you, then like clearly they don't give a fuck. So you could just like end that conversation short, respectfully. Or like their body, like if you're talking to someone and their body's facing you, specifically their feet, that's like a good sign that they're paying attention to you, they're like locked in on you. But if they're like, you're talking to them and their body's kind of moving this way, their body's like this way, but maybe their head's this way, like obviously their body wants to go somewhere else. The body never lies.
That's true.
Or if they're smiling at you, like you're talking to someone, they have a smile on their face, or they're asking you questions,
Yeah.
you know. But if they're just like giving you like a fucking a dirty resting bitch face, or like they're short, like, oh, what did you do today? Nothing. Oh, okay, well, you know, maybe it was a relaxing day. Do you have any other plans? No. Clearly they don't really want to talk. You know, someone who will want to talk to you, they'll actually put in a little effort. You know, even if it's simple. Some people are shy. Some people are reserved. They might just be like, oh, I'm just gonna chill at home. You know, that's still something. Like, oh, what are you gonna do at home? I don't know, maybe be on TikTok.
Yeah.
You know, oh, what do you like on TikTok? You know, just
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because like what I like I said earlier, I struggle making eye contact sometimes, and like for some reason I can't comprehend things in my head unless like I'm looking like down, or like, you know, like I don't look away and like, you know, look around and all that. I look down and I listen to them. Like I always wonder, like, damn, like I hope they don't think I'm not listening to them because I'm not looking at them. That's just the way I comprehend things in my head, you know, and how I like fully listen, you know. So like I don't know if you ever caught that, or like you ever like, I don't know.
Yeah, but I bet 9 times out of 10, like if you're engaged in that situation, like you're still contributing, you're still talking, expressing yourself, even if it's a little bit. Or you're still like facing them, you know, with your body, with your feet or whatever. Even if you're looking down, because some people, like I said, they're shy. You know, some people with eye contact is like very intimidating for them. But one thing that I would recommend that you could try to start doing is just like for your body language, to make yourself with like a stronger presence. Instead of looking down, like either look up or look to the side, because biologically looking down, it's like it kind of gives off the vibe of like, oh, you're submitting to them, or like you're better than me, like I give up, like that kind of energy. But if you're like looking up, that gives off more of a vibe like, oh, okay, I'm thinking about what I want to say. If you look to the side real quick, it's like, oh, I'm just comprehending and catching my thoughts. But yeah, I would recommend like looking up or looking to the side. But if you're like looking down, that kind of like is quote unquote weak body language. But yeah, if you want to like give yourself more of like a presence, like a stronger aura, so they say nowadays, that's like a body language tip.
Because I remember one time I was talking to a coworker at work where she was telling me something, and you know, I was looking down and I was listening to what she was saying, and she stopped talking, and she's like, oh, he's not looking. And then Gio was there. It's like, oh no, he's listening. He just doesn't look. He just doesn't look at you, but he's listening to you. I'm like, damn, it is noticeable.
But yeah, looking up or looking to the side.
Do you ever worry about like how much eye contact you're making, or does it just not bother you?
Well, yeah, you don't want to make too much eye contact because then you look like a serial killer. But you also don't want to like not make any eye contact at all, because then it seems like either you're not listening, you're not engaged, or like anything like that. But what I like to do is like I'll make eye contact. I'm not counting in my head, but like I guess subconsciously, maybe like 3 to 5 seconds, and then I'll maybe look away, like, oh, let me look at the curtain for a little bit, then I'll look back at you, and then maybe I'll look at the light, then I'll look back at you, and if I'm saying something, like telling a story, I'll maybe make eye contact a little longer, but like 3 to 5 seconds is like a nice general rule of thumb. Another trick you could do is you could like look in their eyes, but then you could also like look at their forehead. You like look at their mouth, look at their beard, look at their hair. That way it seems from their perspective like, you know, you're looking at them, but like from your perspective, you're kind of giving yourself a break from that intimidation from the eye contact.
I feel like that's what I do with like piercing. Like,
look at the piercing.
Okay. And there's a lot of good tips.
Heck yeah, dude.
Thank you.
Let's see what the next topic was. That was a good one. We kind of got into that.
Oh, wait, I don't think we talked about your fears.
You want to know my fears? Yeah. Okay, let's see.
Like recent or just in general, like maybe like a top one that you had.
I think a fear that I have is like putting in the work that I'm putting in, but like it doesn't lead to anything. I think that's like a fear that I have. Like, oh, I'm putting in all this work for my music career. I'm putting in all this work for YouTube. But what if at the end of the day, it doesn't happen? It doesn't lead to anything, and I just wasted all that time. I think that's like a fear that I have. And I guess a way that I like kind of ease that fear is I just like, it's out of my hands. Like if it's, because I personally, I pray to God, I worship Jesus. So whenever I have like thoughts of doubt like that, I'll just be like, you know what? It's out of my hands. All I could do on my end is try. And if God willing, universe willing, whatever the case may be, if it's meant for me, it'll happen. If something else is meant for me, God will move me in that direction. So I feel like if I just kind of give myself that assurance where it's out of my hands, it's like takes the pressure off.
Yeah, that's what I feel too. Because I have that same fear as well. Like, oh, like what if I'm doing is not gonna grow, or like it's not gonna like admit to like something future wise. But like I feel like I learned like it's still you should try. Just go for it, try it out. Whether it works out or not, like it's okay, like you at least tried. And regardless, like you're gonna find your path regardless. And I feel like even trying those things out, that's like a step to finding like what you're eventually gonna do, you know? Like, I feel like you should never like be afraid of trying things out, whether or overthinking if it's gonna benefit you in the long run or not. Like regardless, like it's good to try it out, and like you'll never know if you don't, you know. And like even if it doesn't, like it's okay, like you tried and like you realize it doesn't like really work out. But regardless, in the end, like you're gonna have your path, you're gonna find it no matter what, you know.
Exactly.
That's what kind of calms me down, you know.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, I forgot what I was gonna say, but you made a really good point. Yeah, you made a really good point. Let me see if it comes back to me. Oh, it came back to me. Okay. So yeah, I think I kind of live by the motto of like, I'd rather be rejected than living in regret. You know, like if I try something and it doesn't work out, at least I tried it and I know that it didn't work out. That's rejection. I would rather live with that instead of living with oh, what if I did that? Because that eats away at you. Like, oh man, what if I did this? What if I did that?
It definitely.
Like there was a girl I wanted to talk to and I didn't do it. Like what would have happened if I did it? As opposed to like, okay, let me go over there and talk to her. Oh, okay, she has a boyfriend. At least I know. At least I tried, and closure.
Yeah, that's what I think about in my head all the time too. Just like, and like I hate living with like regret, you know, like wondering. I hate wondering like, oh, what if this and that. Like the only way to like fix that is just do things, you know. Don't overthink them, you know. Don't wonder this or that. Just do it, you know.
Just try the best you can.
It's better to like try it and like you said, get rejected or like have it not go anywhere than to wonder all the time, you know.
There's a phrase in my head that kind of goes on loops whenever I face rejection, and it's every time you face rejection, that's just one extra stone that you're putting towards building your castle of success. Because like the LeBron James or Michael Jordan, like to reach the level of success that they're at, they had to go through a lot of setbacks, a lot of rejection. You know, not every shot that they shoot it goes in. Like they've probably missed more shots than anyone else in the NBA, or more than me for sure, because, you know, obviously they're at a professional level, which means they put themselves out there more. They took more shots, which means they missed more, but ultimately that led to them having more success because they gave themselves opportunities to succeed.
Yeah, for sure. Because like they might play good on like on TV and stuff, like thinking about it, like they're probably at home like practicing their shots, like missing all of these things. Like
we don't see that.
Yeah, you don't see that. That's most likely what they do.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Whether you do it like at home or outside, you know, like it's just trying things out, you know?
Yeah. Just try. Just do it. Going back to that.
Fucking Nike.
Sponsored by Nike. Okay. So we briefly talked about it when we were eating pizza. Relaxing and like de-stressing after a long day.
Oh yeah.
We briefly talked about meditation. What are like some ways in your life currently that you try to de-stress, you try to relax?
Ways that I de-stress, or like what do you, or
like, okay, say you come home after a long day, like what are some ideas or like ways that you try to relax?
Oh, okay. A lot of the times, like, you know, like I'll think like, oh, like I haven't played a game in a long time. Like I should just sit down and you know, play a game, or like put on a movie or something.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, or a lot of the times, like if it's nice outside, like, oh, I should go out and skate or something, you know, like go for a jog or something. But yeah, I think those are like my main ones. But I find the one that really distresses me is I like to shop for CDs. So like I'll go to like Disc Replay or something, and what calms me down the most is just standing there and looking through CDs, you know. That's what calms me down the most, you know.
Just like the simple small things, and like you know, whether it's washing your face or whether it's going on a walk or just petting your dog, like those are all really good ways to de-stress and relax after a hard day. Do you know what ASMR is?
Oh yeah.
I'm big into ASMR.
Oh, you are?
Like at the end of the day, I'll put on some ASMR and it'll be like positive affirmations or ASMR go to sleep, or like ASMR role play. Yeah. But just like, you know, the whispering or like them brushing the mic. To me, it's like very relaxing.
Oh yeah.
And everyone just has like their own little outlet, you know, like watching movies is really good.
Yeah.
You know, you'll watch a movie and you'll fall asleep on it, and that's relaxing. Or TV shows, or I know you said you play instruments, you know, just strumming the guitar a little bit. That's relaxing too.
Yeah, but I think the thing that prevents me from like fully distressing with those things at home, like I feel like I don't deserve to do those things. Like I'm like, man, like why am I gonna play games when, like, you know, like I don't even know, like I could be working on like something that'll improve like my career or something to improve my job. Like I don't deserve to do this right now. Like I should be like working on something, you know. But I feel like that stresses me out more because I never allow myself to fully distress. Like even like you know, like occasionally, you know, everyone needs that, but for some reason I'm always like on the go, like like, oh, I need to work on this, I need to, like, I'm constantly stressing about everything and trying to fix everything at the same time, you know. And I feel like that's like a bad habit to have, and I know it is, but it's hard to get out of it, you know. Especially like, you know, in our 20s, you know, like everyone tells you like you're not gonna figure stuff out in your 20s, you know. This is where you're like, you know, trying everything. You know, you usually don't get like settled until like your 30s, but even then, like people are still like finding their ways in their 30s, you know. But yeah, I don't know, for some reason I always carry that stress with me.
And it's like we're humans, not robots. You know, and when it comes to being productive, I feel like society kind of brainwashed everyone into thinking you have to be productive 24/7 to be successful.
Yeah.
But like, if you're just moving at a fast pace 24/7, like you're gonna experience burnout. You're gonna experience some sort of like depression or some sort of like resentment towards life. And there's a saying, you know, sometimes you just gotta stop and smell the flowers.
Yeah.
And that could be in like the smallest, simplest things. And there was another thing I wanted to say. Yeah, just, you know, every once in a while, it's okay to have like a lazy day, and you don't have to feel bad about it. You know, some days I'll just, it's kind of gross, but some days I'll wake up and I won't even brush my hair or brush my teeth. You know, I'll just be like, oh, I'm just gonna look ugly today. I don't care. You know, and I'll just sit around and play video games or watch movies. And the lazy days, those are the days where you like brainstorm ideas. That way, when you do get back on the grind, it's like now you're fresh. You have ideas stored up. You know, because if you're just constantly moving, it's like you don't really have time to think of ideas.
Yeah, and even if you do have those ideas, like you're too tired to even like fully like execute them. And like, you know, like the same thing with like working out. Like, it's bad to overwork yourself, because then like, you know, like your body is sore, like you can't fully execute the, you know, the muscles that you want to like, fully grow. You know, you have to give yourself breaks, you know, like give yourself like, you know. And I feel like that revolves around what you basically just said. You know?
That's why a lot of, you know, if you Google how many times should I work out, you know, the magic number a lot of the times is like 3-4 times a week. You know, sometimes even less, depending on what you're trying to do. And you know, I think when it comes to being productive, like I think it's totally okay to give yourself like, you know, 2-3 days just to do nothing. You know, just really like take the time to focus on you, and don't stress yourself out like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this. Just like do nothing. You know, and by the time the day comes where you are back on the grind, it's like you have so much more motivation, you have so much more ambition and energy, ideas. It's like, oh yeah, I had a lazy day yesterday, but now I'm ready to get back into it. And you just get back into it harder.
Oh yeah, that for sure.
And even just being outside, like in the sun. Do you know what sun gazing is?
I don't think so. I've heard of the term, but I don't think I know what it means.
Yeah, well, the sun, it has medicine. It's vitamin D. It's very, on a spiritual level, it's like very good for the soul. Like obviously, if we didn't have sun, if we were just like inside all day, we would be depressed, we'd be sad, lethargic, all that type of stuff. So the concept of sun gazing is essentially just going out there and just like absorbing the sun. And obviously too much sun is bad for you. But you know, 5-10 minutes just being out and sitting in the sun, it's good for your skin. It's gonna make you feel like you just finished a workout, like that energized, like pumped up, hype feeling. Just makes you feel good. It's like a battery, just refills you, you know?
I feel like I realized that like I realized why, like, you know, like older people like sit outside, like it is therapeutic, like even just being outside, like, you know, by the sun, like it's nice. And I feel like I want to like incorporate that in the mornings too, like instead of waking up and like checking my phone, or like going straight to like the bathroom and like doing my stuff. Like I should get up and like maybe like, I don't know, go outside or step out on the porch and like, you know, like just feel the breeze and like
just breathe in the air
and like you know, let yourself wake up naturally and then do your stuff, you know. Like that's like a good morning routine that I want to practice more. Not even practice, but like just do, you know.
Just like incorporate into your life and stuff. Another thing is like positive affirmations. Just like how you speak to yourself really makes a difference of your day. You know, like I'll have days where I'll look in the mirror and I'll be like, Hector, you're handsome. You're gonna have a great day today. Something amazing is gonna happen to you. And just like how your brain works, like you say that out loud, your brain is just gonna look for excuses to make that real. You know, it's gonna be like, oh, you know, some old lady said they liked my shirt. That was pretty amazing. And this morning I said I was gonna have an amazing day. That's what it was. You know, it's like your brain actively seeks and looks for those opportunities to fulfill that affirmation.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh, and that leads nicely into the next topic, which is self-help and tips.
Oh yeah.
We'll start with you. Do you have like any self-help tips you'd like to share with the audience?
Honestly, it goes back to what we were saying. I think that we're also, you know, like just doing things that you want to do. Like, don't be afraid to like try them or like worry about them for too long. Just do them. And like, just try like I don't know, like every day try to incorporate something that'll, you know, like benefit you or like, you know, like help you or something. Like just like constantly improving yourself, whether it's like exercise or like mentally, you know, because there's like so many ways to improve like your life, and it doesn't have to be like big. It can be just like little things, like, you know, like so many, you know, ways.
Yeah,
you know?
it could be reading a book.
Yeah,
you know, it could be playing chess, playing a board game, playing a video game. You know, when you play video games, it's like your hand-eye coordination, your decision making, like that can really help you resolve certain things and get through certain things in life.
Yeah.
And just like how you take care of yourself, like grooming. You know, like you have a nice beard, so it's like when you have a nice beard, you feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
And you feel clean, you feel well groomed, and you know, when you wear clothes that fit you properly, that are your style, like makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Just little things. It's not like super crazy.
No.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, like your morning routines, like your eating habits, or like just like finding like a hobby, or like style wise, like you know, it's all in the little things, really.
Yeah. Just like your sleep, like how many hours of sleep do you get? You know, we were talking about that at work the other day, like you know, 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep, whatever your body is comfortable with.
Yeah.
Just try to do that consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like I feel like humans at the end of the day, like they know like what's good or bad for them. Like clearly drinking water is good for you.
Yeah.
Clearly doing heroin is bad for you. So it's like, it's not rocket science, but it's just really discipline is what it comes down to.
Yeah, discipline and balance. I feel like. Yeah.
Yeah. Balance for sure. Because you know, you could eat, you know, kale and carrots all day, but it's okay to have a cookie every once in a while. You know, life's too short to not enjoy a cookie or some pizza.
Oh yeah.
You don't gotta like feel shitty about eating a donut one time.
Yeah, like one of the videos that Liz showed me, it was about an actor. She was saying how like, when I die, like I'm not gonna look back and think, oh, like thank God I was skinny and this and that. Like I want to think back and like, oh, like I'm gonna miss having like, oh, like bread and butter, and like, oh, I love those little treats and that, you know. Like it is like nice to have like those things occasionally, you know.
Yeah.
For sure, like yeah, of course, like keep yourself healthy, but like don't be afraid to like have like a cookie or something here and there, you know. Like it's life, like, you know, like you gotta enjoy it too.
Definitely. So we're coming out of the end of winter. Spring and summer is coming up.
Yeah.
What type of like summer activities do you like to do?
Jogging, for sure. That every time the weather comes, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to jog outside.
Yeah.
It's like I hate jogging on a treadmill, because you know, like I like being outside and actually like going through a destination and like looking at the trees and like looking at the trail and everything, you know. But yeah, jogging, skateboarding, or even just walking, you know, and I don't know, bringing like an earbud or a little speaker, you know. Yeah, or go to the park. I like parks.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I like climbing things a lot.
Yeah.
So like swings are cool, but like if there's like a bunch of like obstacle courses that you can climb, like I love those. I like climbing.
Yeah. I really like parkour.
Yeah.
Even upstairs, like I have like the living room. You're familiar with how it's set up. I'll like be vaulting over the couches. And one hand vaults, two hand vaults. You know, no hand vaults. Just like jumping over them and giving myself like a good cardio exercise. But yeah, outside, like especially when it's nicer out, it's like the world is your playground. Or like basketball. Like I really like basketball.
Oh yeah.
Summer activity, that's a good one. Just like a nature walk.
Just
being around the trees, breathing in the prana, so they say in the spiritual world. Yeah. Do you have a favorite season?
I think it has to be. Oh, I have multiple answers. I love the vibe of fall. But like I feel like I'm mostly myself when it's like spring or summer.
Yeah.
You know, like I love being outside, like obviously I like having like my time to like play games or watch a movie or something, but like I'm never like fully myself until like I'm outside skating or jogging or like at the park. Like when it's warm, I'm constantly want to do like all those fun things. You know? And it's active and like it's good for you too. So like that's definitely like summer or spring.
Sure. I like spring. I like spring because I like rain.
Okay.
Yeah, rain smells so good. And just like you wake up and it's raining outside and you just hear the pitter patter on the windows and you're just like, I don't have to do shit today. I'm gonna have a lazy day and just like vibing with the rain. Yeah. Especially like when it barely stops raining and you go outside and everything's still kind of wet. And like there's a rainbow, the sun's coming out, birds coming out.
It just smells fresh. You know,
it's great.
And then like summer too, because you know it's hot enough to go and like to the beach or the pool. You know? I love swimming too. I just recently like learned like just being in the water is like so fun too.
Yeah. How? This is just a random question. How long can you hold your breath underwater?
That varies. I haven't tried it in a while. I can do it. There's some times where I could do it for a long time. Like I think I've gone to like a minute before.
Oh wow.
But there's times where like, you know, like I'm probably not taking it seriously and I'll do like 25 or 30 seconds. But I've done a minute and I think I could do it longer if like I'm like fully like executing it, you know? Yeah, for sure. And I think that plays with like your cardio as well, like being healthy and like, you know, having a good cardio and stamina that plays with your breath taking as well. Yeah, because you're underwater, you're holding your breath. That's like an exercise for your lungs. I never even realized that until you just pointed it out. Yeah, my favorite thing to do at the pool is pretend I'm like a waterbender from Avatar. So I'll be like, I'll do that underwater. Like I'll do it like, and I'll do it towards Liz. I'm like, hey, do you feel it? Like, did you feel the And like before I knew how to swim, I would just like hang on the side. And like just kind of like
I'm a shark. Yeah. Do you ever like race when you're swimming?
Oh yeah, I race with Liz, but she beats me all the time.
Oh, really?
She does. Yeah.
She's fast, huh?
Yeah, she's fast, and I think it has to do because like obviously I'm heavier, so like I go through the water more slowly. Yeah. She's lighter and slimmer, so. But yeah, she beats me all.
Yeah, you'll get her one day. Cool. And then we'll just finish off with our last topic.
Okay.
Which is art. Art is a very like general kind of umbrella term. Yeah. But like any artist out there that's watching it, whether it's a musician or a photographer, drawer, like what kind of motivational words would you give towards them?
Find, try out any type of art that you want, even if it's like a little curiosity, like, like, oh, I want to draw, or like, oh, I should read a book, like, because I feel like everything can lead to like type of art. Everything is art, basically. You
exactly
know?
What I was thinking.
Yeah, like, cause that finding like art could lead into a hobby, which can lead into like, I don't know, like a career if you want it to be, but it can also just stay a hobby, you know? Like, I feel like everyone needs art to like escape from, you know, like regular life, you know? Like I feel like it's almost like mandatory, like you should have like a hobby, you know? Like it's nice. I know like some people like maybe they don't have one or they don't know if they have one. And I think it's just people that have to like keep looking to find their thing.
Try stuff out.
Yeah.
You know, that goes back to rejection versus regret. Like you try out, maybe you think, oh, maybe I'm a really good break dancer. You try it out and maybe you're shit at it. You know, okay, at least I know it's not that.
Yeah.
Let me try something else. As opposed to you think you want to try it, but you never do it. Next thing you know, you're 50, 60. Oh man, I should have tried it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you were saying, like everything is art, whether you're gardening or you're cooking or you're, you know, looking at a screen at a computer and you're organizing data, whatever the case may be. Like that's art in its own form.
Yeah.
And I feel like every human has some sort of creative outlet when it comes to art. I'm gonna get pretty dark here, but fucking serial killers, you know, like to them in their perspective, which is sick and twisted in my perspective, but to them that's art. You know, you see people like Jeffrey Dahmer, you know, he collected bones or whatever. He collected like body parts. Yeah. To him, that was art. Yeah. You know, he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna scalp this dude and see what happens. Experimenting art in his own fucked up way. But
it started with animals and with fucking humans. Like, I guess it's art.
Or whether you're taking the other side, like you're a doctor and you do surgery, you operate on people. Like that's art. Yeah. That's a craft. That's a skill that you have to learn and practice.
Yeah, that's art. The instruments you use is art. Like everything is fucking art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even just working at a retail store and you're interacting with the customers, you know, you're teaching yourself the art of conversation, the art of retail, the art of business. Yeah. Yeah, man.
And like the stores themselves have like an art to it too, you know, like
a design,
a design, like where things are placed and like how it leads to like this aisle or that aisle, or you know, like it's crazy.
Yeah. Everyone has a certain type of art. It's just you got to try and figure out what fulfills you, what satisfies you, what makes your heart happy. Just keep doing that.
Yeah, because I feel like that's what we were like naturally born to do. Like, you know, obviously we're not naturally born to work all the time and you know, constantly be stressed about things that weren't like stress related before. Like, you know, like cavemen, they weren't stressed about work, they weren't stressed about like the technologies that we have now. So like, of course, like it battles differently with us now because our body doesn't know like how to handle that kind of stress. But I feel like everyone was born to, like, you know, like have art, have their freedom, have their creative, you know, mind and eyesight and hearing and everything, and like explore and keep those paths in depth, you know.
Heck yeah. Well, on that note, Angel, thanks for being on the first podcast, bro.
Thank you for having
Cannibal
me.
Kitty, everyone. Make sure to follow his journey. I'll put his Instagram, his tags in the video. Yeah, man. Thanks for being on here.
Hey, thank you.